All right, we are live. Okay, have you taken the exam yet?
I have taken the exam.
Imagine it was lots of fun.
Oh, it wasn't terrible. Could have been worse.
Yeah, their exams aren't, so far I've not been, her exams haven't been bad. So,
Yeah, I still say we're off air, by the way.
yeah. Mine still says broadcasting. It says live right now. It might be a little bit delay on yours.
Okay.
I think that happened last time too. But anywho, anything you struggled with? You wanted to study or whatever?
I don't think so. I think everything's coming pretty easy right now. Just trying to remember it all, restudy it all, get it down packed. Looking at the integral applications that we're kind of working on right now
Right.
for the trig functions, and it's a little more difficult, but I seem to be doing
Yeah.
all right with them.
Yeah, the big thing I get in trouble with is just all the steps you miss something. Something doesn't get translated over. Like you forgot to move a power to your next step or whatever.
Right. Right.
So I just spent like an hour doing the inverse trig derivatives. And just like every time it was this little place here or this number here, or just something didn't move. Yeah, it's been a bit of a pain. But I think they're okay. It's just you need to make sure to do everything right once you memorize the formula.
That's right. That's my biggest thing is remembering the formula for it. And so that's
Yeah,
why I took some time. I was studying a little bit so that I could get down packed.
yeah, because I mean, when I first looked at the paper, she had us do it. What is the word? Like you take the sign of y, you do it. What is the word they use for that? No, I would take the sign of y equals whatever was inside of this inverse sign of x, and then just derive both sides, which I found really easy. But then I ran into problems where the first one, where there's two different things derived, and that really killed me because then you had to derive both of them, and it's a mess. Like I have a quarter sheet of paper of just trying to do that one. So I had to memorize these formulas, but I'm forgetting them. The big thing I noticed that's easy to remember though is that if you ever have what is the word? If z is in the denominator, it's absolute value because know that z can't be negative. So that helps me remember secant and cosecant where you have a z on the bottom. By the way, were there what kind of apps did they use? Do you know? Application problems? Because I haven't even started studying those ones yet. I'm still working on trying to make sure I understand this part.
Like as far as on the homework or like what?
I was just wondering what kind of.
Or like on the
think.
test.
I was gonna try to study before I got to you, but I ran out of time because I was trying to get the trig first, inverse trig.
Yeah.
Pull it up for you right quick.
So like on the test, same as like all the other tests, you know, it starts with derivative functions, and then it'll have some problems, and then you'll have some inverse problems and inverse trig, and in the derivative problems you'll have trig derivatives. Because we've
just know that whatever one it's in.
I mean, like derivatives will cover everything we've learned about derivatives up through trig, and then the application for derivatives will cover all sorts of different applications up through trig because that's what we've learned it up through, you know.
Gotcha. So do they backtrack then? Do the exams backtrack all the old information too?
They do. I mean, it's like it's not like necessarily like backtracking, but it's like you're building upon what you should already know, and so it just keeps all of the different problems. Like obviously the problems change every test, but on what you were already supposed to know, and adds more problems that you're learning new, but is keeping the old stuff on there so that it stays fresh in your mind.
Right. It's also not,
It's not like all new stuff, but it's new stuff.
works for me.
So
Okay,
yeah,
so I was noticing that the exams were a lot easier than the exams are easier than the homework for this course, and I was really surprised by that.
right.
Because most of mine, the exams are really tough and they go through everything you've ever studied. But I've honestly felt like they've skipped a lot of stuff in the exams, and I was surprised by how short they were.
Yeah, they're pretty short, which is nice because I can go in and do it in about an hour or
Yeah,
so, maybe a little bit more if there's some tougher problems that I'm not understanding quite as well.
yeah. I took the last one. I took about I think an hour and a half probably to take, but it
Yeah,
wasn't too bad.
yep, they're not terrible.
No, because like I felt like there's honestly trickier problems in the homework than there is in the exam. Sometimes.
Yeah.
But okay. Um, think. Well, I guess I guess you're in charge. So anything you thinking of?
Yeah.
You know.
Well, I mean, is there anything that you need a little more help on before you go in to take the exam or anything like that?
Well, being your portable, I don't think it'd be easy to ask for help right now.
Well, I can help you with whatever I can.
I'm trying to think.
I can still pull up all the assignments.
That's true. Let me pull through. Um, Sorry, just a second. I'm looking for a paper I have here. I'm just not sure I put it.
No worries.
I've been actually going over lots of my old homework, trying to get everything done, and kind of all messed in here. I did like 11 problems 2 days ago, just
Wow.
blasting through all the old ones. And so I had like all my paperwork for the last like 2 weeks here. Okay. So I guess the one I would just want to be curious on is the exponential/log integral apps. You remember that
Okay.
page?
Yeah. Hold on. Can you
So
still
I
see
actually
me right now?
losing some vision. I'm losing visual of you.
You can only just see the picture of me.
Yeah, I hear you, but I don't see you.
Okay, hold on just a second. Let me pull that page up really quick.
Okay.
What day was that on?
I don't have it marked. Usually I have the day on them, but this one's not marked for me. See if I can pull it up. Exponential.
Okay, well, I think that from week 5, because I'm looking at week 6 and it's all, okay, integral apps, log, it's the integral apps, right?
Oh yeah, it's day 3, week 5, isn't it?
Yeah, day 3, week 5. Okay.
Yeah. So the one that says exponential log integral apps, like How do you go about those, like finding the procedure?
Okay. So like on the first problem, it has the story problem, right?
Um,
Or does it just give you the problem? I'm trying to find it here really quick.
let me see. Well, it has the what am I looking at here? I'm looking at the page where it just says exponential log integral apps. Describe the procedures for each of these integral applications. I'm trying to find that. So I'm trying to think what the
To
procedure.
describe which procedure you need to use.
Yeah.
Okay. Was that in the activity from day 5, or was that in a prepare assignment from previous days?
I'm trying to find out what day it was on.
Looking at the day 5 or the week 5, day 3 activity right now.
Mm-hmm.
This is the story problems. Has 4 different story problems that we were supposed to work out with exponential and logarithmic integral applications.
Yeah, actually, it might help to go through one of those. But yeah, so the exp/ln integral apps, and there's 1, 2, 3, 4.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I have that one here too.
Okay. So the first one, it says it is estimated that weeks of practice, students in a typing class can increase their speed 24e to the negative 0.2 t words per minute for each additional week of practice. If their initial speed was 0 words per minute, write a function to represent their speed after 2 weeks of practice. How fast can they type after 10 weeks to the nearest word? Right?
Right.
Okay, so what I did, first I found the derivative of that function, that sorry. So
Integral.
it's 24e to the negative 0.2 t, right?
Right.
Okay, so that, where it's an integral, that is the derivative. So you need to find the original function.
Right.
Okay.
So that would be a negative. So you divide it by a negative 1/5. Is that right? Yeah, you divide it by a negative 1/5, so it's times it by 5.
No, you divide it by
Negative
negative
0.2.
1/5. So then you would multiply on the outside by negative 1 over 5.
Yeah. So basically, it's a times 5, right? Because if you divide and divide, that's a multiply, right?
Right. So you take 24 and you would multiply it by negative 0.0 or 0.2. You'd multiply those on the inside of the function, but then on the outside of the integral sign, you have to multiply it by the reciprocal of that number. Does that make sense?
Okay, yeah.
So on the outside of the function, you would multiply by 1 over a negative 0.2 or negative 1/5. You would multiply the outside by that. Does that make
Right.
sense?
Yeah, I hear you. So, yeah, cause like I think I'm getting the math. 24 divided by the negative 0.2, and then you times the top by negative 0.2 for
Right.
1, and then.
So then that would be like kind of like your U sub or your license problem.
Mm-hmm.
But you're working it backwards still. So you would have the negative 1/5, and then you would look inside, and if you multiply 0.2, or if you take it on the outside there, multiply it. So then you got negative 1/5, and you multiply that by 24 e to the negative 0.2 t. because of your license problem, you have solved basically for the integral. It's taken away the integral sign when you multiply on the outside.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, yeah. I get that. So the answer you get there is negative 120 e to the negative 0.2 t, right?
Right.
All right, and then
And then you'd have to substitute your initial value of 0
okay.
to get your c.
Oh, plus c. Right.
Plus c, right, because it's an integral app. So then on the first time, you'd have to plug in 0 because that's your initial speed.
So this is like
Plug
an
in this,
okay.
plug in the 0, and that will give you your c value. You can solve for c if you do that.
Okay.
Then after that, after you find c, then you go down and you plug in, like the problem said, you plug in, I think it said 10.
Right.
Hold on a sec. I'm gonna find it now.
So c equals. Go ahead.
So it says how fast can they type after 10 weeks?